Yo, 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 yo.
Yo, what it is.
That's our whole intro. What's up, fellas?
You like that better
Hello.
than my other ones?
Hey, check this out. I redid my whole background. And great. This is great for audio. Obviously not. Just for Steve. I got a Matrix shirt. I got Matrix poster. Matrix poster. Matrix poster. I got my Neo over here. I got my Sentinel. My complete in the box Sentinel behind me, just for Steve. Trying to match his
Did
Matrix.
you have it? You trying to outdo my Matrix bar?
I can't outdo it, but I can try to rival it. It would take.
I don't know. You're coming pretty close, man.
So-
Looks pretty good back there.
So every week you have a set design.
Yeah, I change shit around. Yeah, I like to. I'm all about set dressing and whatnot.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna mount your giant compendiums or whatever.
Oh, that's gonna be a minute. That's gonna be a minute before I do that. So
Maggie still won't let you take the mirror down, huh?
not yet. Not there yet.
You just put stuff in front of it.
Just for the show. Just for that's coming right down.
Oh, immediate takedown. Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't even know if she's. I think if she walked in and saw that, we'd probably get divorced. So, like, what are you doing? Eventually, it's going to come down, though. It just has to. It has to come down because I got a shelf coming for like this area, and I don't know.
Are those posters the holofoil ones?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, dude.
Yeah. What?
I don't know what that means.
Mr. Big Bucks.
They're like, no, they're not expensive at all. Nobody wants Matrix shit.
They're just shiny.
Yeah, they were
Reflect.
the one that there is one that's expensive. Like the top one is from Reloaded, and that is not the final one sheet. That's an advance, meaning that it's one of those posters like a coming soon, and then they have the final that has all the print at the bottom with all the credits, director, written by. The final version of that, which looks identical, except at the bottom, instead of saying 2003, it has the actual release date and then all that stuff. That one's expensive as hell. But I'm like, I don't care. I don't need all that.
Right. Right. Especially if you have to take it down, right, when you're done.
So, well, these stay up. The ones in the corner, they stay up.
Okay.
It's just the one in the mirror. But I've been on a Matrix kick, obviously, just at home watching them all 4K on my TV, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos.
Your OLED.
Yes, they look and sound amazing. Like I have no reason to go to the movie theater, man. Like, nothing.
Dude, I can't wait to come up and see you, man. I can't wait to see that TV, dude.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I love the picture quality. These movies have never looked better. Like never looked better. I mean, I remember going back to like 99 when it came out on DVD. And we were all living together, and we put it in and watch it, and we thought it looked amazing then. Well, it looks way fucking better now. So
yeah, and what was that back then? That was just 720p, right?
No, that was 480.
Even
It
that.
was 480p.
Oh, that right.
That was your Sony
That's
TV
right.
that's still downstairs that weighs 8,000.
That's right.
pounds.
480. That's what DVDs were.
Yeah, that so your TV would like go 1080i back then was like the highest. They had like 1080i TVs. But the reality, and you could get a 1080i signal over cable, but DVDs were only 480. Like they maxed out at 480. Right. So that wasn't until Blu-ray and HD DVD that we got actual high definition home media. So, but yeah, they would stream stuff in HD, which didn't help me at all because I didn't watch TV. So,
because you didn't have a TV.
Well, no, I had one then.
No, I'm talking way before.
No, even when I got a TV though, I just didn't like. I mean, I watched MTV, I watched Beavis and Butthead, and I watched music videos. And then I watched Seinfeld at your house. But like, I didn't really like television for the most part. I just preferred movies. I thought it was a superior storytelling format. And back then, it was. TV's gotten a lot better. We got Mandalorian, we got Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Sopranos, all that kind of stuff. But back then, I don't even know what did they have? The West Wing? Maggie and I tried to watch The West Wing. No thanks. It's not very. It's very 90s, very late 90s.
I've heard about it. Never watched it. You watch West Wing?
It's not very.
Yeah.
We had Dynasty in Dallas back then.
Oh my God, that was the '80s.
Dynasty.
Yeah,
Rob still watches them on reruns.
Nope.
TNT baby.
TNT.
In between heavily
we're
edited versions of the Avengers.
You're supposed to be able to see Rob today, but he didn't bring over the mic that I told him he had.
Which I totally denied until I
He
called
was
my
like,
wife.
dude, you never gave me a fucking mic, dude.
Nice.
He calls Molly. He's like, did I bring a mic at home ever? She's like, yeah. I was like, holy shit, I was right. Because I wasn't sure if I gave it to him. I was just pretending like I was confident, you know? And I was like, oh my God, I was actually right.
I told Steve to check his Amazon history. And when he had 3 mics in his Amazon history, I'm like, well, clearly you either gave it to Rob, which I just remember the drama of it because Rob was very upset at the idea of getting a mic. He thought it was you telling him not to come over anymore. So that's why I remember it. That's what I remember. But I don't know where the mic physically ended up though. I don't know if Steve took it back, Rob kept it, whatever. So clearly,
evidently, I took it home.
Yeah,
according to my wife.
Yeah,
yeah. So next week we should have Rob on his own. You'll be able to see Rob and hear him on his own mic and computer. I fixed my computer. Apparently, my Windows 8.1 wasn't sufficient enough. Dude, I was troubleshooting for like half of Saturday, and I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, dude, what would Rob? I was going to call you guys. I was going to like ask you some questions, and I was like, what would Rob and Sean tell me to do? They would say, Google it.
That's right.
So I Googled it. I did all the work myself.
Excellent.
That shit is fucking frustrating. It's much easier to just call you guys.
So,
but I finally figured out, after I was online with the Zencaster people and talking to them through chat, and they couldn't figure it out. And then I finally figured out that Zencaster you had to have a Windows 10 or hot, to run it. And I'm like, why didn't that lady start me with that?
Right.
What is Windows running now?
I think they're doing a new 10 soon. I think they're doing a new update.
Okay.
A higher one.
I don't know. I don't have
10 is what's out now. So
yeah, so my old computer is like does not compute. Like it would not.
So what did you do did you get a new OS? Did you get a new computer? What'd you do?
Yeah, I got it for free.
Free what? OS?
I guess. Yeah. I thought I was going to have to buy Windows 10, but I went and YouTubed it, and they told me to go to certain sites. And I guess the license was still good for mine. So switched over. It only took 6 hours. I was like, this is the longest fucking thing ever.
Interesting.
But I did it. I did it without asking anybody, dude. I didn't call anyone.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Steve did a thing.
Yeah. I was just so mad at the lady. I was like, why wouldn't you ask me the first question, like what my operating system was, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm here. I'm chatting with you because you have all the knowledge.
Right. That's what they're supposed to anyway.
But anyway.
All right.
We should have Rob back next week.
I'm here.
I mean, be able to see you
on the YouTube video, even though I think the majority of people just
look at me.
You'd be surprised, Rob. You're probably
Who
the prettiest
watches YouTube? How many hits do you have on the YouTube?
We have we're in the double digits. I'll just say that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And that's something.
So
yeah, I was thinking the other day. I was like, sometimes when we go off topic, I was like, are people, getting uninterested with that stuff? Because we don't have a ton of listeners, but I want to make the listeners we have happy. And I'm like, when we talk about friendlies and shit like that, I was like, do people fucking care? And then I'm listening to Bill Burr's podcast this morning, and he's talking about fribbles from friendlies.
No
shit. I was like, okay, I guess we're doing okay. We're doing the right thing.
He's from the New England states, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they still
got him. But he busted out fribble, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Dude, but that's what I like though, is when people kind of, I mean, not all the time. I remember when I listened to Howard Stern and they'd get like way off topic and I just wouldn't care. I mean, not that he always had a topic, but I don't know. I think listeners like that kind of stuff. That's the stuff they relate to more. I was actually thinking about it earlier today. I was like, I kind of like the new direction we're going, where we kind of touch on current stuff, because that's what people kind of expect from a podcast. If they're current, they kind of want to hear you touch on, what's currently going on. That's why I sent that text out earlier, Falcon and Winter Soldier last week. Like, we start talking with that. Another good episode, 2 episodes in. Really good, very entertaining. Like the direction they're going. It looks like they're pulling from the Mark Grunwald Captain America stories, which I only really noticed last week. Mark Grunwald is Steve is not listening to me.
No, Mark Grunwald. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Steve is zoned out.
No, I'm listening.
What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
He's looking for his notes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No time to listen on the podcast. Only time to talk.
Dude, Mark Grunwald.
Anyway.
You said it looks like they're going to follow his series. I'm waiting.
No. I was saying that that was the first Captain America comic I ever read. I think I sent you guys a picture of it, but was written by him. And that was like in the middle of his run. Like, he started in like the 80s, but he did it for a long time. But I mean, that was around the time like when I found out about U.S. Agent and John Walker and all that stuff. I don't remember most of it, to be honest. So, but I remember like Flag Smasher, and I remember the Power Broker, and stuff like that. Don't remember much about them, but it's cool because it's like how they're tying something in. They're doing like they're tying, like, they went from Civil War, which was a pretty modern storyline, and then they went to Infinity Gauntlet, which came a long time before Civil War. And now they're going like even further back, but they're moving forward by using older stories, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that guy, that the U.S. agent guy that I thought I knew.
Yeah.
When I saw him without his mask, that wasn't the guy I was thinking of. There's another goofy looking guy that I thought.
So here's a concept: they're using already established stories. Star Wars. 7,
right?
Kathleen Kennedy, 789.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Plenty of canon to go on.
Yeah,
plenty of canon and books. And then you just chop it all up.
There's that.
Is that why you want to assassinate JJ?
Yeah. But to your point though, she made that statement where she's like, Marvel.
Yeah.
She basically, saying they have all this stuff to pull from. It's like, so do you? Do you really not know that? Do you not know all this source material? You're just ignoring it. You have all these books, all these comics, and you're just like, no, we don't have anything. Just hire that one guy who makes mediocre movies that everybody forgets about as soon as they see him. That guy he'll do the job. Like, have you ever heard anybody that's like a hardcore J.J. Abrams fan that's just like, I'm big on the J.J. verse. I like everything he does. He's pretty amazing. Nobody's a J.J. Abrams fan. There's no such thing. I challenge you to find this person.
Not even J.J. Abrams.
Not even J.J. Abrams. He's just like, I don't know. I wrote some show about a chick who wears wigs, and then my career took off. I don't know what happened.
I liked Alias. I watched it.
You would, Rob.
But I would.
Back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I love how they freaking, like, when they introduced that U.S. agent, like, I wanted to hate that guy. And they immediately made me feel for that guy. I was like, this is the guy I was supposed to hate the whole time. And I want Sam to get the shield back and everything. And then, I was like, I actually care for this guy already. And then in the end, he starts, I get that feeling again. I was like, yeah, good job, show. Good job.
That's what I told Sean. I said the exact same thing. I was like, after the first episode, I was like, oh man, this douche. And then, then the beginning of the first episode or the second episode, I was like, man, I'm kind of feeling for this guy. I kind of feel sorry for him. I got some empathy. And then by the end of the show, I was like, no, he's a douche. And then what are they going to do with me next? I mean, it's just great. One episode, 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. I already care about the characters more than anything.
Right.
Right. A 4-hour
for
Justice
DC.
League movie.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That's how you do it, boys.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard. What else? Build it on characters. That's what you need to do. Build those characters up, and then you can do almost anything after that.
I love the with the psychiatrist too when they're all sitting down. That was a great scene, you know.
Yeah.
And Bucky kind of gets the last word in there, you know, puts it to her.
Yeah.
What'd he say? I forget what he said. He's like, "Oh yeah, what was rule number 2 again?"
Yeah.
And then just walks out. I was like, "Yes,
Don't hurt anybody."
But yeah, the show is moving along. It's all the character stuff, really, and the action scenes are great too. You know, that helps punctuate. But the action scenes without good characters, you just don't care. You know, you don't care what happens. Like Superman could have died again in Justice League, and nobody would have cried. Nobody would have been upset. Then nobody was upset the first time. You know, you see. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember because I don't know how. Oh, Rob's asleep. Wake up, Rob. Wake him up.
I'm awake.
Oh,
My eyes are open. It must have froze.
Hey, you didn't believe me. You didn't believe me when I told you he was sleeping though one time.
No, I believe you.
I believe you.
I believed you.
Oh. Okay.
But so, you know, I saw Avengers like 3 or 4 times in the theater, and like the first 2 times, I think even the third time. So I remember the third time I saw it, I went and saw it in IMAX. It had been out for a week at that point, and literally like the whole world had already seen it. So everybody that was at the IMAX showing, it's like the middle of the afternoon, was clearly there for a second or third viewing as well, except for like 1 or 2 people. So when Tony Stark bit it, when he died, you just heard this person like, like just one person trying to keep it together. You know, that sound they make when they're like trying not to lose it. I guarantee nobody did that during Batman versus Superman. Nobody gave a shit when that dude died. They were just like, oh, like, it's like, but meanwhile, Zack Snyder's like, I don't understand. I did like dramatic music in slow motion. You should care, right? Like he just doesn't understand filmmaking. He really doesn't. You got to build the characters first, man. You don't need the music if you have the characters. Music helps, but if you don't have the characters, no one fucking cared. No one gave a shit when Superman died. Nobody believed it, and no one cared. Period. Literally never talked to anybody. It was just like, wow, can you believe they killed Superman? No one said that shit. Like, no one cared. But yeah, I mean, the proof is just there. Go ahead, Rob.
Speaking of DC, I just watched DC animation. Evidently has Batman Soul of the Dragon. It's evidently in the 70s. I was seeing if it was on HBO Max. It is not. You have to buy it or rent it.
Yeah.
But it's Bruce Timm, so I might end up renting it. But anyway,
in
so
my Vudu.
I wanted to
watch it on my Vudu. You can watch.
You have Soul of the Dragon?
Yeah, I buy every Batman animated thing that comes out. Just
oh man,
yeah,
well, I'll have to watch
it.
it.
I have Death in the Family on there too. But yeah,
I watched that one. But I ended up watching Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and it was a young Clark Kent basically just getting his start, and it was good. It was good. DC animation is good. I don't know who did that one.
I bought 3 DC animated movies
They're really good. It's amazing how they can just screw it. Just get somebody in the animated department. It's like show some respect for those guys that write these stories, man.
Yes.
And Bruce Timm is the guy that does what? He does most of the animation or something?
Yeah, he does a lot of Batman, but he does
basically he created the DC animated universe, going back to Batman the animated series in the early 90s, and then the Superman, and then Justice League, like that. He started all that. Him and Paul Dini. Paul Dini would be the other guy that I keep forgetting to mention, but Paul Dini's a comic book writer, and he like they created Harley Quinn. But yeah, those two created that whole animated world, and then his penis fell off. And then, he's listening.
I am listening. Dude, I'm listening. I'm fucking listening.
It looks like you're reading.
What I bought was Justice League Doom.
That's a good one.
That's good.
Justice League War.
That's a good one.
And Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox.
That one's actually good too.
Which is what I just read in the comics.
I'm sure it's going to be better than the movie.
Yeah, so I read the comics. I was like, let me see it animated as well.
Yeah. Watch War. This for anybody listening. Watch Justice League War if you want to see a better version of the Justice League fighting Darkseid. Like that's
Darkseid's in this one. Nice.
Yeah, and he's fucking badass.
There's a Superman one that is really good. It's just like him and Darkseid. Darkseid is beating the crap out of Superman.
I think that's I think that's Superman, Batman, Apocalypse.
I think so.
I think it's on HBO Max.
Right. And that's Michael Ironside is Darkseid's voice.
Yeah,
it's got that real deep voice. It's really good. But yeah, I mean that shows you how powerful Darkseid is.
Right.
I don't remember if that one talked about the All Father or whatever his name is, and then the kids where they swap.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the one where they kind of give the history of Apocalypse.
And they trade kids basically, right. And the human-looking kid is actually Darkseid's son, and then the weird-looking alien-looking kid is actually the human-looking son. It's pretty funny. Anyway, that was a tangent. Sorry.
That's in one of the movies.
Oh yeah, man! Just start watching all of them. Go to HBO Max. They got like 20 of them.
Mm. Yeah, I took your guys' advice and I bought me some DC animated movies.
Yeah, they're worth. Yeah, I would start with Doom. Doom is really good.
Yeah.
What was the third one you said you bought?
War, Doom, and Flashpoint Paradox. Because I just read Flashpoint. So.
Oh, Superman Man of Tomorrow had Lobo in it. He's a great character. We got to read him.
Yes.
Sean's like, yes, I've been trying to tell Steve that for 30 years now.
Talking about Lobo since the 90s when I discovered him, and I was just like, wow, cool DC character.
I was like, Sean, I'm going to go play baseball. I'll see you later.
Right. Did you guys watch the Suicide Squad trailer?
Yes.
I did. Laugh my ass off. I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this a DC movie? Why am I laughing?
Like Polka Dot King or whatever that dude's name is in it. He's a character. And I'm like, I'm in on that. James Gunn can pull this shit off.
It's like the Condiment Man.
Yeah. King Shark. How funny was King Shark in that fight? Just that.
Dude.
Sylvester
King
Stallone.
Shark is a shark.
There's like a giant action scene. They cut away and he's just sitting there like eating something. I was just dying, man. It was fucking great.
Dude, I'm stoked for that Suicide Squad. It looks like just the polar opposite of the first one.
The whole John Cena and Idris Elba talking about bag of dicks.
Yeah, the whole island of dicks. And I was like, oh man, this is gonna be great. I got to see my boy Nathan Fillion too for a split second.
Yep.
He's that guy where I guess he can like pull his limbs apart or something. I forget his name in the movie. But.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the majority of these characters. I think all of them, except for like Harley Quinn.
I think he created that Nathan Fillion. I don't think that.
Yeah, that was something he created.
Was something he made just for him.
I heard that. King Shark. That's the same. I saw King Shark on the Flash. He was on the CW Flash.
Yeah,
King Shark's in a lot of animation.
He was in that Harley Quinn series, which is pretty funny. But again, not real familiar with like 99% of those people, which is fine with me. It just looks fun, man. It looks like a good movie. You get a guy again. You see the character. Like, could you imagine Zack Snyder using a guy covered in polka dots? He would fucking never, ever, ever use the fucking. I gotta look up his name. I don't know his name. Is it Polka
Dot Master?
Something Della Chamont or Della something.
David Dastmalchian plays him, yeah, but Polka Dot Man. Close. He's just Polka Dot Man.
What'd you say? Della Chamont?
Della Chamont?
That's actually a lot closer than I thought you would get.
David Dastmalchian, yeah, he had a small role in The Dark Knight. I don't know if you remember. That's the guy that Harvey Dent pulled aside. And then he was in Ant-Man. Yeah. He was in the Ant-Man movies as like the Russian dude.
The Dark Knight is what I was thinking of. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I knew I saw that guy somewhere. Yeah, so that looks good. I mean, that looks way better than any of those.
Zack Snyder would never be like, and let's use Polka Dot Man. And if he did, he would just be all black polka dots, and they'd be very tiny.
Black and white polka dots.
No, it'd just be black on black. You wouldn't even be able to, like black and slightly darker black polka dots. That's the only, there would be no way to
tell. When does that come out, that movie?
Later, I think this summer sometime, like August maybe.
July.
Is it July?
July or August.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it'll be on HBO Max. I'll be staying home to watch that. Even though I'm vaccinated now, my family went today. So everybody in my house has had their first Pfizer shot, which I just read the other day is like 80% effective. And then when you get the next one, it just puts you up to 90%. So everybody in my house, and then I get my next one in 2 weeks, and then they go back in 3 weeks, and for
did
those,
you have to schedule your second shot, or did they automatically schedule it for you?
they automatically scheduled it and handed it to me, and they're like, "Be here."
Yeah, shit, man. That's what Mississippi did that, and Ohio, I guess, does that. But Memphis, I had to schedule my. Well, I haven't done it yet because there's nothing available yet. But I have to schedule my own. Like, what the shit?
You got to check like every day, man. I was checking every day to get when the appointments open up because my age bracket opened up first. That's why I went first, and then their age bracket just went live yesterday for everybody 39 and under, and I was able to score some appointments last week. But yeah, there's like an app you can use here in Ohio. They also have the website Get Your Shot, which is an Ohio-based website.
Yeah, it's real easy to get it. I just have to do it. I was like, everybody else, they automatically schedule one for them.
Yeah.
Like they got their second shot. I was like, this is bullshit.
One and done.
Yeah, Rob got the Johnson & Johnson one and done. The
Right.
one that's like 0% effective.
Right.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's like
I think it gives you COVID.
it's like I read that there's a tweet that was like, gotta appreciate Johnson & Johnson coming in late with a D minus with their 66% effective rate or whatever. But
That's against being really sick.
Right.
But it's like 85 preventing that.
yeah. Hey man, it's better than nothing. Logan was telling me
That's
most vaccines are only like 60-70% effective anyway or something. So, but that's the whole idea, is to keep you from dying, basically, is what it's for. But it's exciting stuff.
America doesn't care about people dying.
The 500,000 other people that have already died from it.
So I made a post today on Facebook because I still see people on my Facebook who are still like, I'm not getting the shot. I ain't getting that shot. And I'm like, all right, let's do the numbers. So I went to the CDC's website. Like, let's get the latest numbers here. All right, 30 million cases of COVID since this all started here in the United States. Almost 550,000 deaths from that. We've had 138 million people get at least one vaccination shot. So 30 million cases, 550,000 deaths. 138 million have been inoculated, at least halfway. 0 deaths from vaccinations. So like, what are you waiting for? I don't get it. The math checks out. You don't get it. 550,000 people died out of 30 million cases versus 138 million who got the vaccine and didn't die at all. It's just pretty solid.
Didn't die, but they're severely disabled now.
Well, yeah, it's the running joke being about the Microsoft products, because one of the conspiracy theories was that Bill Gates was making a vaccination and they weren't going to take it because he was going to microchip you, which was absurd because that's not how microchips work. They said this, of course, while typing on their phone that has like geolocation down to the goddamn, like where they're fucking, like goes down to like where they're a pubic hair size. And they're like, oh man, the government ain't going to track me. They ain't fucking find me.
They were tracking you before microchips even came out anyway.
Fucking idiot.
And they still knew everything about you.
But yeah, so some people.
Hey, what about?
What's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying some people are still resistant, and I truly don't. I mean, it's just weird. Maggie and I watched a whole bunch of. There's a ton of documentaries on HBO Max about. There's one about fake news, which I highly recommend. Which I think is funny because I said to Maggie, I was like, because it's literally called something, the problem with fake news. So people, Trumpers go to watch that and they're like, yeah, let's find out the trouble with fake news. But guess what it's about, guys? Guess what the fake news actually is? The fake news is not the liberal media, it turns out. But they followed this one guy, and I can't remember his name. Rob probably knows who he is. But when they were trying to do a smear campaign on Robert Mueller, and they said they had somebody who was going to accuse him of sexual assault or sexual whatever, and it was a totally fabric. And that, like, the people who documented this documentary, the people who filmed this, they were with this guy, and he's just like, in the documentary, he's like, okay, all right, well, since that's, he's like, all right, well, since that's not true, how do we what do we do now? We can't. The witness, let's lie and say that she couldn't make it because she's getting death threats and stuff. He's like on camera lying. He's also at the very beginning saying that, fake news it's a problem, knowing full well that he's the one putting out the fake news. But he's like, it's a weapon. He's like, it's like chemical warfare. People are going to use it, so you may as well use it too. He's like, I don't know what the fallout's going to be. And meanwhile, I paused it. I look at Maggie. I'm like, I don't know. People trying to take over destroy our democracy. I think that's where that ended up. You fucking idiots.
Dude, I learned that this fucking election I learned so much shit, man. Like, it's all about getting people to not vote.
Yeah.
Like look what's happening in Georgia now, man. They're already issuing laws to change the shit. It's like,
because they lost. Because they lost. And which that blows my mind.
It's not it's got nothing to do with race, but or suppressing people to vote. But you can't have people bring you food or drink. Right. Now, how messed up is that?
Yeah.
And it's already bad in Georgia because they got to wait in line because they don't have enough polling places. Right. So now they say somebody can't hand you a drink or food. I'd be like, dude, really? That is ridiculous. It's just blatantly racist, man.
Well, they're just trying to get people to not show up, basically. And it's just weird to me because, again, I made another Facebook post about how, like, Republicans lost in Georgia, and they're like, okay, well, let's actually try to steal this next election. Let's change the fucking rules. And meanwhile, let's push this story about Mr. Potato Head and Dr. Seuss, so that way people aren't worried about their voting rights. They're more upset about a gender-neutral potato head toy. And that's all they do. They just distract you with these stories that don't matter. They don't go anywhere. They don't mean anything. They have no impact. And instead of, so that way you're not focused on, wow, they're trying to take away voting rights. That seems unconstitutional. Well,
yeah, Dr. Seuss. That's a joke. They're like, you're taking away, dude. It's the Dr. Seuss Foundation are the ones that are getting rid of the books.
Yeah, but it works, though. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about Dr. Seuss. They're talking about...
But I don't think it does. I think the Georgia thing is out there. I mean,
I don't think it is on the right. I don't think it is on the right.
On the right, it doesn't matter. They don't care anyway.
That's what I'm saying, though. They got all this bull crap that doesn't matter, like Mr. Potato Head and wet-ass pussy and shit like that. That's what they're talking about now. It's like,
but that's the right. I mean, it's out there, but those people aren't going to see normal news anyway, so it doesn't matter.
But that's the thing, though, that the media, that's what the right news, the conservative news outlets are choosing to cover, and it just blows my mind that they would focus on that, and people would let themselves be distracted by what is clearly just a distraction and has no impact.
It's purposeful, though. I mean, that's the whole point.
Well, yeah, because they know they can dupe all those people. It's just, man, I just learned so much this year.
Anyway, go back to HBO Max. Ton of documentaries. What else did we fucking watch? So we watched that one about fake news, which also covered like Pizzagate. There's another one that's ongoing. They have 4 episodes of that's about QAnon. We're 4 episodes into that.
Are you watching that?
Yeah, we're all caught up on that.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. We watched another one too, and I don't remember what it was, but the fake news was really good, and the QAnon stuff is really good. For everybody that, for anybody, left or right, you should really watch this. If you're somebody who's on the right, you could be informed by this. You will literally see people creating actual fake news in conservative media, pushing these agendas to keep you away from finding out, like real issues and everything like that. And it's fucking disgusting. It's so upsetting.
So wait, the left doesn't do that?
No, there was some coverage of. So I didn't know this. What state was that? What state did Roy Moore? What is he from? Arkansas, Alabama?
Roy Moore is from Alabama. He's the pedophile.
Yeah. So the pedophile,
the real religious guy. They said, oh, he didn't do it or something. And
well, here's the thing. So in Alabama,
I think Trump backing him anyway.
In Alabama, finding out your candidate is a pedophile is not a big deal. Like they're like, yeah, that's fine. We're in Alabama. So what this?
He's a man of God.
Uncle Roy.
Yeah. So finding out that guy is a pedophile, all these people, it wasn't like one accusation. It was like a lot of girls stepped forward about this, a lot of women, no, who are now women. But what happened there was somebody wanted to start a campaign against him. So somebody on the left, I don't know who, somebody donated money to him, and he used that money to create his own fake news, which, and I know, I mean, I should be like neutral about this, but this is just too funny to me because this is how you get people to not vote for somebody in Alabama. Apparently, is you create a campaign saying that the conservatives are trying to make Alabama a dry state again. So that's what he did. He pushed this. He created this whole social media account, website, Twitter, all that stuff about, and he created this fake campaign for let's make Alabama dry again. And people, so the Republicans just didn't go, they didn't show up to vote. They didn't vote for the other guy. So I didn't know anything about this, so I watched this documentary because again, it's trying to, show both sides of it. But as per usual, the liberal side is very like timid compared to how abrasive, the right-wing people like force it down your throat. I thought it was pretty fucking clever.
That's what I don't understand about, like, it is so obvious and blatant, and they still can do it. It's like, come on, people. Yeah. Come on. And you see what's going on.
So
come on.
The Democrat won. Logan, what's the name of that Democrat? He got voted out recently, though. You know what I'm talking about? Logan, are you in the kitchen still?
Yeah.
You know the Democrat that ran against Roy Moore?
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones. He's not in anymore, is he?
No, he only won because Roy Moore is a pedophile.
That's not why he won. He won because I'll explain it to you later. That's what I thought. That's not why. He actually won because they created a fake campaign saying they wanted to turn Alabama into a dry state again and not sell alcohol there. The left created fake news, and that's how they got Republicans not to show up because they didn't care about the pedophile thing. It's Alabama. So that was not a concern. That wasn't doing it for them. They're like, well, yeah, you don't touch little girls. That's what is Alabama. But yeah,
don't take away my Miller Lite.
Yeah, but yeah, like, wait, you want to do what now? No. Let me get my finger out my daughter, and I ain't doing that. like that's. But yeah, that's what it took. That's the fake news approach that the left took. Was they created a fake campaign and tied it, made it look like that was what the conservatives were doing, and I didn't know anything about it until I watched this documentary. So yes, the left has used fake news. I thought it was a very clever way. And I just feel like, well, when you're using it against a pedophile, it's kind of okay. It's kind of like.
It's kind of true, though. I mean, if they're religious right, so don't they want to get rid of alcohol?
So, I mean, yeah, and that's what they were doing. They were pushing. So I suggest watching that on HBO Max. So it's called Something About Fake News. Just look it up in there.
Dude, they're so hypocritical, it don't matter. I mean, they'll just flip-flop. They'll flip-flop on anything.
Allegedly. But yeah, and they talked to Doug Jones, and he's like, "Yes, I found out about this. I was, appalled and blah blah blah." It's like, I bet you were horrified that they did that for you. That they said we're going to be a dry state, and they were like, "Hell no, we no dry state. Get that pedophile out of here."
Yeah, you can run the world with booze, man.
Yeah,
I can't believe Prohibition lasted as long as it did.
Shit. I thought that was brilliant. That dude that came up with that, though, and it just made me laugh. And I know that makes me a hypocrite, and I just don't care. I mean, I'm nothing if not hypocritical when it comes to certain things. But you try to defeat a pedophile, you got to pull some strings, man. You got to do some stuff,
right?
It's for the greater good, like they say in Hot Fuzz.
You lose your earpiece at least once every.
You know what? Because I have such horribly huge, misshapen ears. I don't like wearing giant ear cans. But my ears are they're big, and yeah, like I can't wear earbuds for like if when I was working out, I haven't worked out in a long time, but when I was going to the gym, I had to get like full on ear cans for the gym, which really sucks because that's where you don't want ear cans. But I take 3 steps with earbuds in, it's just gone. Like it's like my ear holes are just constantly getting bigger.
Is that from always like you'll put an earbud in and then it stretches out your ear and then you have to buy a bigger earbud? You're like one of those guys from the African tribes where the ears like they got all
the earlobe thing. They get the bigger gauges. Yeah.
Right.
Now, I'm pretty sure I just get raped in my ears occasionally, and I don't know about it. And I don't know why my ear holes are so goddamn big. But yeah, these actually stay in really well. These stay in, but compared to like Apple earbuds, they stay in like really, really well actually.
Okay,
Anyway,
because you lose them at least twice every episode, so I don't think
yeah.
that's well.
No, it is good. Like I said, if I had Apple ones in, they wouldn't stay in. And I have to sit really still. All this jaw movement is throwing my ears off here. I see this too.
Hey, what'd you guys think of Invincible?
It's good.
Oh, that was the other thing. Yes.
Aiden and I both watched it.
Shit, I didn't think the fucking
I think Aiden
show
fell off
could
the
get
couch after the ending of the first
yeah,
episode.
did he? That's awesome.
Shocked him.
Wait, what happened?
That's what I thought.
Aiden like fell off the couch. He was so shocked at what happened.
Oh,
At the end of the first
Omni-Man?
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm in well, I don't want to spoil it. But,
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Red Rocket got crushed.
Red Rush, not Red Rocket. Red Rocket,
Right.
you call it dog's penis.
All right.
He's called the Red Rocket from now on.
Red
I was telling Sean when I first saw that, I was like, man, I wish I wouldn't have read the comic first.
I know, right?
I was like, because I was waiting for it, man.
They did a great job.
I didn't think the show could get bloodier than the fucking comic, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was listening to interview. Is my computer fucking up again?
Yeah, it's like going crazy, so I had to switch.
Oh, okay. I haven't moved anything.
No,
I was listening to an interview with Robert Kirkman, and he was talking about how bloody the show was. It was like the bloodiest thing he's ever done, aside from the comic. You know?
yeah. And it really contrasts with the art style. Like, I mean, I know I said this when we covered it on the show when we covered the comics, but that real clean and it just doesn't have like a dirty look to it like a Simon Bisley art style or Frank Miller where like when blood shows up you expect it. Like it just has that real clean like Spider-Man kind of art style, and then like the blood kicks in and you're just like, oh my god, oh, it's hard to look at.
Where'd
God.
that come from? Yeah, so I watched all 3 episodes of that. I really enjoyed it. They switched up a little bit,
Yeah,
couple things, but
it's good though.
for the most part, it was the same.
Yeah, I'm okay with
anytime-
changes too, because like when you're taking something from one format to another, there has to be changes. There's a different flow to a comic book than there is to a movie. Somebody commented, Matt, one of our listeners, commented after he listened to our Justice League thing about how it sounded like that people think I expect a slavish devotion to the source material, and that's not the case. Again, Marvel movies being the prime thing, like they've changed, they've pulled the right elements from the source material, made changes to either improve it or to fit the new format, and that's great. Like that's not even my main issue with Zack Snyder and Justice League. My main issue there is just severe lack of characterization, and then the characterization he does do is not remotely faithful to the character that we've known for it's been around for 80 years. He just does his own take on it. The only way that I would be cool with Zack Snyder's DC universe is if we found out it was an alternate universe and that like the Earth Prime one existed and we had a proper, Superman whose dad didn't tell him to murder kids and stuff like that. And,
Do you think that was his intention the whole time?
To what?
Or do you think he would just say that?
Whose intention?
Zack Snyder's.
He still hasn't come up with that idea.
I'm saying
that
if he
Sean
does,
just mentioned.
if he does say it was an alternate reality,
No.
do you think he intended that the whole time, or are you just
No.
saying that because
No, that's my
the way to
idea.
make it?
That's just my idea that it's something that can kind of
gotcha.
make it right. I think he wants, that's just how he views, that's his movie. That's how what he wants to do with those characters.
Wouldn't that be sweet though? Then we get to see the real Superman.
Yes,
You
that
know?
would be fucking awesome. Like that, I would be like, and then he could claim that that's what he planned all along, which is exactly what he would do because he's a bullshitter. But that's fine.
Have you watched any episodes of that Lois and Superman or Superman and Lois or whatever it's called?
I forgot about it. You talked about it that one time.
Yeah,
I forgot about it.
If you
with
wanna-
Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. Yeah, I saw that. I remember that.
No, this is a
I
new
saw
one.
that a long time ago.
This is
Oh.
a new one.
No, I haven't watched that yet. Like I said, we watched a bunch of
Is it good?
documentaries.
I watched the first 2. It was good.
Hmm.
It's like Superman. He's got kids.
Oh.
It's good.
I'll watch
it's heartwarming.
I'll check it out. I watched the episode of Picard. Did you watch that?
I watched everything. Picard.
I watched the first episode.
That's good.
Wasn't bad.
It was really good. The whole series is good.
Sean said, "Shut your mouth about Star
You
Trek."
should watch Voyager, or not Voyager. What's it called? Discovery.
Now, there's like so many spinoffs. I don't even know where to begin.
Discovery's really good. They're about to have a new one with Pike.
Who's Pike?
The original captain of the Enterprise.
The original captain of the Enterprise.
Oh,
From television.
Oh, no idea.
He was in the first. He was in the pilot.
Oh, okay.
He's
doesn't
in
make it any better.
Discovery too.
It's still
Good stuff, man.
I wanna see Pike. I want to see some Pike.
At the end of the day, it's still Star Trek.
11 o'clock every night, Channel 43, Star Trek reruns, baby.
Yeah. No, that's what I grew up. I grew up watching it in my grandparents' house.
Dad and I used to watch it all
Where's
during high school.
Where's all your Star Trek merchandise?
I didn't like it though, but yeah, I watched a lot of stuff when I was younger. You know what I bought on Amazon Prime? I bought the first season of Silverhawks. Started watching that.
Silverhawks.
Of what?
Silverhawks.
You never. Oh.
It was.
Was there only one season?
Is that a cartoon?
It was on for like 3 months from what I read when I was reading. I looked at it. Came out in September, but it was like 65 episodes. It ran from September to December of 1986. 65 episodes, which is obviously a lot. But yeah, it was that much of a blip. But you and I just loved it. I'd stolen some of the figures from Kmart. I remember.
Yeah, that was Monstar. Monstar was the bad guy.
And Quicksilver.
I used to have his figure, and his head would flip from being good to bad. You remember Silverhawks? They were like humanoids and like metal hawk outfits, like bird outfits.
Rob was trying to get laid at that point when we were watching Silverhawks. Rob was trying to get his wick wet.
So wait a minute. You said there were 60-some episodes? That's
65
more than I thought.
Episode, yeah.
That's way more than I thought. Wow.
I remember G-Force. Didn't they have like bird-like costumes?
Yeah. G-Force. What was that? That was an anime. Gotcha Man is the original name. I remember G-Force. Though. It's kind of like a precursor. Yeah. It reminded me of Voltron. Like Voltron came later. Hey Logan, will you bring me a Coke? But yeah, like Voltron came out, and like I was reminded of G-Force, but I think G-Force came first. Gotcha Man. But anyway, the Silverhawks thing. There's the guy. So Wednesday night, this Wednesday is Kong versus Godzilla. We get to watch Kong beat up the dinosaur, right, Logan?
How can King Kong beat Godzilla?
See, this is why I get him and Mason.
I was just about to ask you.
That breathes nuclear fire. King Kong is a monkey that got beaten by World War II fighter jets.
Not in this universe. Kong hasn't even been to New York in this universe. So, yeah.
Doesn't he
have a lot of hair, Kong?
He's a hairy guy, yeah.
He's covered in hair, right?
No.
Doesn't Godzilla breathe fire?
Godzilla has got the ass of a fucking 600-pound woman. He can barely turn around in 3 hours. Have you seen Godzilla? He's all ass, no arms.
He uses his tail and he whacks people with it.
So this is the argument I have with my kids all the time. They're so stupefied that I would vote for Kong.
He can keep Kong at a distance though with his nuclear breath.
I have a question.
Kong is agile as fuck and fast and smart.
There's a reason why we call you people Kong tards.
Is this a continuation of the other Godzilla movies?
Yes.
Or a continuation of the Kong movie?
All of them. It's the two Godzillas and the Kong Skull Island. This is that whole universe.
I've seen the two Godzillas, but I didn't finish watching Skull King Island.
Oh, I didn't.
That's the honest. Kong Skull Island is the best movie of those three. And I'm not saying that as a Kong fan. I'm just saying it's the most entertaining movie. Yeah. For one, Godzilla's in it for more than, or not Godzilla. I'm sorry, King Kong is in it for more than say like 3 minutes. So that's a big plus. The second Godzilla movie, The King of the Monsters, and by second one I mean in this current continuity. Is like the first Godzilla was way better than this one, and that one barely had Godzilla in it. But the Kong Skull Island, highly recommend that movie. Very entertaining, very fun movie.
That's the one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, back in the 60s.
The first one had Bryan Cranston and Elizabeth Olsen, right?
Monkeys not
Yeah.
And Petro.
giant space lizard.
All right. Then the second one had the girl from Stranger Things and Mothra.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's right.
All right. So I need to watch. Kong Skull Island.
Yes, that one's.
I think I need to watch
It's a really
everything
fun flick.
except Kong Skull Island. Was John C. Reilly in Skull Island?
Yes,
What?
yes.
Okay, that's the one I've seen. Then I haven't seen any other ones.
I've seen part of that one.
Wait a minute, are we just writing off? We're just writing off the Matthew Broderick Godzilla?
No,
Yes,
that's not a
absolutely.
continuation of that, though. That was like 20
Yes, they
years
are.
ago, dude.
The only thing good that came out of that was the soundtrack.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, oh, I remember that had a good soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Had,
remember anything on it, but I know
I
I
remember
listened
the
to
Rage had a Rage Against the Machine song you could only get on that soundtrack called "No Shelter."
it. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was a really good track. And then it had that P Diddy song where he used the riff from Led Zeppelin,
Oh, yeah.
Kashmir.
That's right. Holy shit! I can't believe you remember that. Did you just listen to it or something?
No, but I remember I have very distinct memories because you had the CD. I wasn't like willing to buy it just for one song, but you like it, which I just wanted the Rage song. But there's some other stuff on there too. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Those are the two songs I remember the most. Because I think the Rage song was like the last song on the album, so it would always like cycle around, and I'd end up listening to a bunch of songs before I finally got up to skip to the Rage song again. But yeah, so my kids are very upset that I want Kong to win. I'm not remotely invested at all. I just like King Kong. I don't care. Obviously, the real prediction is that what's going to happen is they're going to fight, and then a new threat will emerge, and they'll have to fight that. That's what always happens if you've read comic books, for instance. It's like, when Captain, or like who would be an example? Oh, like when there was a crossover, Hulk and Superman. They fought each other, and then they had to fight a bad guy, stuff like that. It's just very common comic book thing. That's what you do.
Yeah, but there can only be one alpha.
So, yeah,
not if you want to make more movies.
Yeah, but
That's
again,
why
I genuinely don't care. I like Kong. I don't care who wins. It means nothing to me. But I do like to upset my children by telling them that Kong is going to whoop Godzilla's ass, and then they start throwing all this logic at me, all this fucking nerd logic. And I just sit there beaming, smiling with pride. And I'm like, you put me in my place with that nerd logic. I love it. Just like me. Like, I'll get Mason out here. He'll start in on me, man. It's so funny. I made an invitation in my phone for family movie night. And I was like, and I titled it "Kong Whoops Godzilla," and made everybody RSVP for family movie. And they're like, "Kong can't be Godzilla. Godzilla has nuclear fire breath. He's dying. Blah, blah, blah. What is he, a monkey?" Like they start like Logan did. Get so upset. I got off track.
Yes.
The guy who directed that is directing a Thundercats movie. That was my whole point of bringing that up.
Oh. Okay, I did. I saw that. Did you post that on Facebook? Yeah, I saw that.
I think I liked it or something. Anyway, so who would you vote for?
Kong all the way, man.
Yeah,
I look like Kong, so I
identify with Kong, right? I'm like an ape. I'm always scratching. I got a lot of hair on my back, like
right. Yeah. I'd show you my hairy arms, but I don't want to lose viewers. So, Rob, you don't have any take?
No, I really don't care.
Rob.
I don't prefer either one. Man, I grew up loving Godzilla, to be honest. Like, Godzilla was always on this local show super host. And I remember watching Godzilla movies, just all the Godzilla movies. I remember seeing King Kong, and I think that stop motion animation kind of creeped me out. But I like King Kong. I remember King Kong made me sad as a kid because they killed him. That's what I remember about that. But Godzilla was probably my favorite when I was younger. You didn't care when you were a kid?
I have to agree with your son, though, that, I mean, science backs Godzilla.
You're right. I can't disagree with that either.
Godzilla's all ass. I'm telling you, can't move.
I can't relate to no lizard, man. At least Kong. I mean, fucking, we evolved from apes, so fucking at least we got that. So.
Godzilla looks
Come
cool
on.
as shit though. That's why Godzilla's a badass. So I like, and he's got a badass name. Like, he's a way cooler name.
Do you guys remember the Faye Dunaway Kong?
No,
Dunaway?
I don't think I ever saw.
That's what I said.
You said Dunaway.
You speak, Bob. Shut up.
I think
You know what I meant.
Dong away. I don't think that's right. But
I think it was the 80s or maybe late 70s.
they made one in the mid 70s. I think it was like
That was. I remember seeing it as a kid. That was really cool.
I forget who else.
Because like, there's this scene where this big hand picks her up, and it's
Yeah.
like
I think I've seen that.
Faye Dunaway.
That's like
That's her name, isn't it?
Dunaway.
Dunaway.
Is it Dunaway or Donaway?
Done with
Dunaway.
a U. Very clear U.
Faye Dunaway,
Yes, you got it now.
the blonde chick from the King Kong movie.
What was the one that Peter Jackson did?
That was horrible.
It was called King Kong.
Oh, I like that.
I thought that was long and boring.
Well, it was long.
I liked it. I did, but I just like King Kong. It was kind of like, it was very similar to the first Hulk movie in that there wasn't a lot of Kong, but when there was, I loved it, kind of thing. Like when he, and also there was that scene too with the giant centipedes. I thought that was a great scene that really stuck out, and it really freaked a lot of people out because people are terrified of centipedes. So having like man-sized centipedes had people like squirming in their fucking seats, man. Like they did not like that shit. Maggie hated it. Like she can't even watch that scene. But yeah, watching
Wasn't like Jack Black in that?
Jack Black, yeah. I just thought it was okay. I didn't hate it, and I liked King Kong, and
Oh, that's right. He did fight dinosaurs. That's
yeah,
right.
it was really good. Broke that guy's neck, and then he was just like playing with his jaw, or he broke his jaw. That's what it was. And then he's like doing this with it, like checking to see if it's broken. I was like, okay, I killed him.
Like the Joker after he burns that guy.
Mm-hmm. Right, like, but yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was, but most people hated it. I can't really argue with them. I just like King Kong a lot. Was one more thing I wanted to touch on before we moved on to our comic book. And then,
Yeah, I guess I got some Kong movies to watch. I learned that they're called kaiju. I didn't know that.
oh, you just learned that, huh?
Yeah, I learned that yesterday, I think.
Oh, that's one more thing.
Kaiju doesn't just mean big fucking creature.
I guess.
Yeah, it's giant monster. It just means giant monster, basically. Anybody watch the Bad Batch trailer? The Star Wars The Bad Batch that came out
Yeah.
today.
I did.
I
saw Fennec
Comes
Fennec
out May
Shan.
4th.
I saw
Yes.
Fennec Shan.
Yes, Fennec Shand is in it, voiced by Ming-Na Wen. I think it just looks good. It looks like more Clone Wars, but I like that they're kind of focusing on one team. Kind of reminds me of back in like the mid 2000s, they made a video game called Star Wars Republic Commando, and you played as like an elite squad of 4 clone troopers, but they were unique. They all looked different, painted their armor different ways, had different nicknames, and then there were 2 novels based on it, written by an author I like. Her name is Karen Travis. 2 really good Star Wars books, just centering on that group of the Republic Commandos. And then it was kind of cool that Dave Filoni actually put them in an episode of Clone Wars. They're only in it for like a minute or 2. I don't remember which one, but it was so cool to see them. It's like, oh, sweet, they're canon again, because back then it was canon, and then it wasn't canon. And then they showed up, and so they do exist in Star Wars proper. So I'm excited to watch it. I know it's not going to be as good as like Mandalorian or anything, but I think we'll all be watching it though.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching it. I feel like I need to go watch Clone Wars again, even though it'll take me like 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Probably more than that.
I need to watch Rebels again, man. Like, I really liked Rebels.
I want to watch both of those again. I just know how long it took me the first time, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah. I need to make a playlist like my favorite episodes or something. What was the other thing? But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Where did I put my iPad? The Crew. All right, going back to Falcon and Winter Soldier. Rob and I talked earlier, and he thought I was some kind of fucking prognosticating genius for picking The Crew after watching.
I
did too. I was like, did you know something we didn't?
And he kept delaying it. I was like, did he delay it
Yeah,
For
I was
this
like,
episode
did
to
you
come
know
out?
episode 2
It's
was
like,
coming?
Jesus Christ, this guy. This guy.
This guy here.
So
Yeah,
smart.
I thought he might have heard something about,
I did not. I avoid spoilers, so I had no idea that we were going to see Isaiah. What's his last name?
Bradley.
Isaiah
Well,
Bradley.
they were talking to, we were talking about them if they're going to touch on the race issues, the current race issues, and I was like,
Yes.
well, shit, what better way than to introduce? Well, I guess we'll talk about it when we talk about the comic.
All right, so the crew. There was a good description of what's going on here in a previous.
Gotta go pee.
Yeah. Oh God.
Rob's
Rob
out.
is
He's got to
out.
take a leak.
Look how this thing's as big as my head. Look at that.
He's had like four of them.
He
I
got the giant cup of
I
coffee
put
this time.
3 things of coffee in.
He wasn't fucking around.
All right. We go back and just read this description of what the crew is. All right, it's written by Christopher Priest, who is a writer I've enjoyed. He wrote some Black.
Hey, let me stop you real quick. Like, I didn't even know his first name. All I kept seeing on the thing was Priest. I was like,
Oh,
is this like Prince or
No.
fucking?
I don't know why. Maybe he started going by Priest, but I've always known him as Christopher Priest.
Okay.
He, like I said, he wrote some Black Panther stuff I really liked. He did some Deadpool stuff. I wasn't really into his Deadpool stuff. So I don't know. That is not the description I wanted to read. Let me go back another issue here. So anyway, it's written by Christopher Priest. It is illustrated by Joe Bennett. It's a 7-issue series. I don't know that it was intended to only be 7 issues, but that's what it ended up being. And I still can't.
Is that?
Go ahead.
Did it not just nobody bought it? You think, or they? Just
I'm guessing
went separate ways.
All
I
right,
guess
here we
that's
go.
the main motivator is if people buy it.
All right, so here we go. After filing for bankruptcy, James Rhodes, known as War Machine and corporate CEO at the time, was informed his sister had been killed by drug dealers. He traveled to Little Mogadishu, or the Moog, a dangerous section of Brooklyn controlled by gang warlords and drug dealers. He started looking for his sister's killers, declared war on the street gang, the most powerful street gang in the country, 66 Bridges Gang. 66 Bridges uses Grace and Tumbolt, a black-owned multimedia company, as a corporate front. They have installed the ruthless gangster Nigel Triage Black as corporate CEO, and they control a substantial percentage of all East Coast criminal activity with the help of a network of corrupt police officers, judges, and politicians. Rhodey hijacked 66 Bridges' illicit payroll by derailing the secret underground money train. In doing so, Rhodey met up.
The money train.
Yeah, Rhodey met up with the former spy Junta, the urban crime fighter White Tiger, and the son of an urban legend, the fabled Black Captain America. And the 4 men want nothing to do with each other. So that's basically the premise for this: is Rhodes, his sister got killed by drug dealers. He's broke. He was a CEO at this point in Marvel continuity. He had to file for bankruptcy. I don't know the history of that, so please don't ask. Just part of comic book storytelling. You gotta elevate the people, and then you gotta tear them down again. So that's how you get drama.
Yeah, I just went with it. I'm like, all right, he was CEO. It went bad, dude. There's this comic. I was like, oh, we're doing War Machine. We're without his War Machine. I was like, the only time I got to see his armor is when he tried to pawn it.
Yeah. I didn't expect that. I hadn't read this before, so this was one of those things suggested as a good Rhodey story, and I think it did turn out to be a good Rhodey story.
Speaking of War Machine, okay, so I was watching Endgame the other night, last night.
That's what we do.
Okay, so he pops out. Remember when Thanos blows up? Right after Hulk does the snap. He blows up the Avengers headquarters, right? Rhodey pops out of War Machine, right?
Yeah, because he's drowned.
Right. So how does he get it back? Because
Ant-Man lifted it up.
I think it was a different suit.
Okay.
I assumed it was a different suit.
I'll buy that.
I don't know.
They were at the Stark facility, so maybe they had.
Yeah, but
something.
remember he was trapped, and then the Ant-Man saved him.
Yeah.
When he opened his hand, I couldn't remember. Did he have a suit on or was it off?
Yeah, he popped out with the suit on.
Yeah, that's what I was like. How did he get back into a suit? He was drowning without a suit.
Well, I thought the next thing you see though is Ant-Man lifting the rubble, and then he was holding, I don't know, a bunch of people, three people, and
Rocket and Rhodey.
Yeah, one of them was War Machine. So I figured he just lifted the suit
right before
the rubble off the suit.
Rhodey was drowning with Rocket. Remember, they were like and Rocket was like screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was out of his suit because he popped out. He said canopy. Mm-hmm. He popped out. So then all of a sudden he has his suit back.
Yeah, as Ant-Man grew big and moved all the rubble, he was able to get to his suit. And then he scooped him up.
His suit was like on the ground.
I'm just trying to give you
another Captain America shield, magnetic shield thing. It doesn't matter.
I'm just noticing.
I'm just trying to give you an explanation.
I just wondered if anybody saw it.
Yeah. No,
I haven't seen it 191 times like that guy from the Guinness World Records, but I have watched it several times. I still get goosebumps when Milner.
I'm giving you the only explanation I can think of.
All right, so going back to your point, Weave, about the fact that it's a War Machine story, sans War Machine armor. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I still enjoyed it.
No.
It was a good story. It was on the criminal underworld, and everybody is corrupt, man. Cops,
yes,
politicians, and that was Rhodey just went to find the killer of his sister, because you find her dead in the beginning, and I guess he's not really close with his sister, but he's still a
crack hoe.
She's a crack hoe, that's right. And she gets tossed from a building, lands in a car. Rhodey's there to, identify the body, and once he does, he goes to investigate the murder, even though he's not supposed to. The cop is like, hey, you can't do this, but he's like, fuck it.
What did he keep calling the girlfriends? What was it?
Marcy.
Yeah. And then at the end, the cop ends up being Marcy.
Yeah. He called every failed relationship Marcy.
Yeah.
So it was like his mom, his sister. He always called that Marcy. So, but yeah, he finds out who killed his killers, catches them, hands them over to the police. And then he finds out that they're just a small part, of this giant 66 Bridges gang. And he's like, well, I'm going to take them all down,
Right.
And that's when you meet these other characters. Are you familiar with these other people?
No.
The white,
nope.
The white tiger.
Yeah.
No,
I was not familiar with any of them. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's this ex CIA spy. That's Junta, yeah. And they're all basically working together to take the 66 Bridges gang down, but for different reasons.
Right. They're not really a team through most of it. They don't really team up till like the last issue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they kind of help each other, but
right.
They do things that don't help each other.
Yeah,
they all have their own agenda, and if it
if it
helps them, they'll help the other person, but mostly they don't give a shit. But going back to what we were talking about earlier is so in Falcon and Winter Soldier we met Isaiah, who was one of the African Americans who was experimented on when they were trying to come up with the super soldier serum, and kind of a interesting story that you hear in Falcon and Winter Soldier that they reiterate here. Well, I guess I have that backwards. This came first. So, but yeah, he was a black Captain America, so to speak. He stole the armor to go. Was he after Hitler? Why did he go? He went behind enemy lines for some reason, and he wasn't supposed to.
They shot him with the super soldier serum.
Oh, so they did send him there.
Yeah, and then he was fighting war, and then he was doing stuff that they weren't supposed to do, and they couldn't let word get out or something. So
the main thing
imprisoned him.
He stole the suit. That's why he went to prison.
He literally went to prison for stealing the Captain America suit, which is fucked up.
Yeah, in Falcon Winter Soldier, it was 30 years. I think in the comic, he said it was like 10 years or something. It wasn't as long.
And in the comic, like is
the crew,
the super soldier serum, he didn't have like the final version, so it's like eating away at his brain.
Right.
He's kind of like a child, but he still ages slowly. So he's really old. He doesn't look that old. But he has a son, Josiah
He's
X.
got dementia, basically.
And that's who's in this. He's
one
basically Josiah's taken on the Captain America mantle, I guess.
But yeah, I had no idea. I didn't even know about the Isaiah story until we read this comic. So I was just as surprised as you guys were to see it touched on in Falcon and Winter Soldier. But it was still kind of a cool thing to touch. I don't even know where it originated. I don't think that was the first time they told it in this comic, I'm guessing. But
no, it wasn't. I did some research. It was earlier, I think. It wasn't in this comic. It wasn't in the crew.
See, I don't remember them in the crew. When you guys talk about him stealing the suit, that wasn't in the crew.
I don't think that was in there.
So I don't know what you guys are talking about. All I know
was from Falcon Winter Soldier. Stealing the suit.
No, they didn't say that in Falcon Winter Soldier.
I thought they did.
No, man. It wasn't in that, or it wasn't in this comic either. That's why I was so lost. I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
I swear he said that.
All I know from this comic is that he was falsely imprisoned for doing stuff for his country, but they didn't want the shit that they were doing to get out, so they threw him in prison, and they falsely imprisoned the black man like you do.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things. So when we were talking about whether or not they were going to talk about race in this Falcon Winter Soldier series, I just thought, what better way than to let everybody know the first Captain America was actually black.
Yeah.
So and they did that, and I was like, cool. And then you can see why Sam. You can see why Sam was so upset. It's like, dude, you fucking knew about this shit. You didn't tell me. It's like, maybe I wouldn't have gave away the shield.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it definitely has some even more depth to Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I thought the series was just I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was great. It was okay. I'd give this story 2 out of 4 stars would be my rating.
Yeah, I give it higher. I thought it was a 3. I enjoyed the story. I liked the whole money train thing, all this, underground subway where all this dirty money was being distributed to everyone throughout the city.
Yeah.
It's just there's a whole network, man. It's like, God, that shit's going on today. It is. That same shit is going on. Right. Everybody's fucking dirty at some level.
I give it 2.5.
But yeah, they basically work together to find out, they try and take down everybody's that's dirty. And looked like they succeeded in the end. So I thought it was a good end.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, they set it up like they could do more, but obviously they didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, what's up with this War Machine story? There ain't no fucking War Machine. Oh, I take that back. He did before he pawned his helmet, I think. And that was a funny scene in the comics. He's like, this is worth $7 million. Right. And then they show the pawnbroker. He's like he's not budging. And he's like, $7 million. And it's the same, it's the same still, the same picture, same frame. It's like, yeah, I'll give you $50 for it.
Well, I don't even think he sold it. I think he ended up just selling his watch because the guy just.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But he had another, he smashed a car at the end with, he had an arm of the suit left or something. And he ended up smashing that. So I got to see his helmet. He didn't put it on, but I got to see his helmet and an arm piece.
So this was I think the story was just a little too street level for me because I did want to see some War Machine. Again, I picked this off a list of great War Machine stories. There was, and Jim Rhodes is War Machine. However, I do like War Machine in my War Machine stories, and didn't really get that. So that's why I just give it a 2. But it's still solid storytelling. And I do like the difference between Stark and Rhodey that, Rhodey is more of a street level guy. Tony Stark is the multi-billionaire. But at the same time, I still would like to see War Machine instead. Like I'm not
But
here to
it
see
did.
people in street clothes do comic book
Yeah,
shit.
but it did say the crew though. It wasn't War Machine number 48.
No, I mean it's fair. It's fair, but I just that again, that's my own expectations kind of getting the better of me.
Yeah.
That's
I like this a little bit better than you did. I give it a 3. I enjoyed seeing how smart and manipulative that Rhodey is.
yeah.
And dude, the Casper Cole guy, the White Tiger,
Yeah.
he was cracking me up with the shit that was going on at home. Like he didn't.
Oh my god.
His wife's pregnant, and then like his mother's living with him, and he's like doing everything he can. He's like trying to just go fight crack fiends or whatever rather than go home and fucking deal with the shit. And one of the scenes, he's like he's done with his job and he's about to knock on the door, open the door, and he's like, leave testicles at door and then enter. It was pretty funny, man. It was surprising.
His wife's a total bitch. His mother-in-law is a nag, and it was kind of funny too.
His girlfriend, wasn't it? I don't think it was his wife.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was
no. They said his wife. They said his wife because the mom was like, "You need to put out for your wife. That's a wife's duty," or something like that.
Put out for your husband, yeah.
Or put out for your husband, yeah. But I was laughing at that shit. So it was decent.
Rob came in between us with a 2.5.
Rob, what'd you think?
2.5. That was good. I mean, the Captain America thing was awesome. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
The story was kind of choppy, I thought.
There was a scene where Isaiah's son Josiah in this comic, he pretty much he's had the Captain America suit, but he kind of hasn't been fighting crime with it,
Yeah.
And Rhodey says something to him at one point. It's like, you should be ashamed to have that star on your chest and then, do what you do when all this crime's going on. You could be stopping this. And you eventually get to see him become Captain America, which I thought was cool. And there was a scene where he's talking to one of the guys. He runs like a mission or something. And one of the guys was that works with him. They were talking, and he was debating about, because they're Muslim, and he's debating on whether or not to put up the American flag and everything. And they were talking about how the flag represents something different for black people than it does for white people. And I was like, man, what year was this written? It's like, this has been going, we know it's been going on forever, but with all the stuff that's come to light is within the past 4 years, it's just like, man, you did like, that's like, I was talking to my buddy at work about it. It's just like, it's a different America, the way black people look at it as opposed to white people. And they had that scene in this crew, and it was just it was pretty gripping when I was reading it.
Speaking of that, the cop that killed George Floyd.
Oh yeah, that trial.
The trial started, and on my way home, I heard testimony from the she was a child when it happened. I think she's over 18 now. I think she was 17. But I heard her testimony on audio. Holy cow. I started to tear up.
Wait, trial of what? Who are you talking?
Of the cop that killed George Floyd. The trial's going on right now.
Yeah, but who's
and she was testifying, huh?
Was she testifying again?
She's a witness. She saw what happened.
She's a witness.
Oh, she was there. Oh, okay. I thought
she's for the prosecution, obviously.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So,
no, I thought she was like,
it's fine. It's fine. I
thought she was trying to talk about like the cop's character.
No, she was testifying.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Well,
she was a kid at the time. That was like last year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was last year, but I mean, she might be an adult now. I don't know, but she was talking, and she said something. Man, I almost started to tear up. She still, she sees her father, her brother. That could have been them,
mm-hmm.
and she blames herself for not doing more.
Yeah.
And then she said, she realized that it's not my fault. It's his fault.
Right.
It's the cop's fault. It's not her fault. But she still feels that she could have done more, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, man.
I'm sure those other cops, too.
You should listen to the
I'm
audio.
sure they think they should have done more,
powerful.
too.
I mean, she was very, wow.
I was just going to say that the writer, Christopher Priest, he's black. So, it's obviously he knows more about that stuff than any white writer would. So, that's probably why it was so well written and all that stuff landed so well and made sense, because it's not like some white guy trying to make sense of something. It's somebody who's actually experienced that kind of racism and stuff. So,
yeah, it was really well done, man. It was a good couple of panels.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the crew. That was my War Machine story that did not have any War Machine in it. Sorry.
But it did tie in with Falcon and the Winter Soldier perfectly.
You couldn't have done that any better.
Yeah, you did a good job.
So yeah, I'll just pretend I did plan it that way. Totally planned it. Totally planned it.
Totally.
Nailed it. Totally. So yeah, I got to pick a comic for next week, and as always, I have a ton of them swimming around in my head.
Come on, Flash.
No, I have no Flash stories. Zero Flash stories. I think we're gonna do the Lobo story. I think it's
okay.
Is it Portrait of a Bastitch? Is that the name of it?
I don't remember.
Steve, watch Superman of Tomorrow. It's
Superman of
came
Tomorrow.
out 2020. It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
And you'll get to see Lobo. And you'll get to see how a Superman story is supposed to be told.
All right. So we're going to read Lobo 1 through 4. It was collected later as Lobo, Portrait of a Bastitch, which came with Lobo and Lobo's Back. But we're not going to read Lobo's Back. We're just going to read the first 4 issues of Lobo's first miniseries. It's just called Lobo. It's available on DC Infinite and Comixology.
This is nice. I've already read it. I know what I can speed read it now. Rob's going to have to be like, "What the fuck are these dolphins?"
There's he might be a little familiar.
Spoiler.
No, it's like the first thing. It's one of the first things they show.
It's not a spoiler. It's not important to the story at all. But it's just that Lobo loves dolphins, which is just funny. So the Superman the animated series had a good 2-episode story with Lobo that I enjoyed. I think it was Superman the animated. Yeah, and I think it's like there's some guy. He's like the Collector from the Marvel universe. I don't know. That might be his name in the DC universe too. But he's like that, where he collects rare things and people. So he hires Lobo to go and get the last Kryptonian Superman, and then they go, they fight. Lobo's not really a good or a bad guy. I mean, he definitely leans more towards being a bad guy, but he's not. He's a mercenary.
There's some gray area.
He doesn't, he's not really a part of any of that. But so he goes to take on Superman, and I think eventually he captures him and takes him to the Collector dude, and then the Collector captures Lobo because Lobo's the last Zarnian. So then him and Superman have to work together, of course, to escape. But it's a fun little 2-episode arc in the Superman animated series, which is now available on HBO Max as well. Don't remember the name of those 2 episodes, but
I've got some shit to watch, man.
Yeah, you sure do.
Yeah, Superman Man of Tomorrow, Lobo.
I got tons of shit to watch. I'm glad I already read the comic, so I can watch some shit.
So yeah, who does this comic? Keith Giffen. I know Simon Bisley, I think, does the covers. I think he does the interior art too.
Dude, Sean's giving you another DC, man.
I am.
He's giving
DC.
He's back to DC already.
Look at that.
Even with his
you know what I was gonna do?
Banner.
I was gonna pick like 4 of the Matrix comics. But I only have 1 off the top. Actually, I have 2 off the top of my head I could pick from that book that's sitting behind you there.
I have the other 2.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you, if you had like the paperback version, so you could let Rob, because the hardback has both of those and then like 4 more stories. But I was just going to pick stories that were like in the first volume anyway, just to make it easy. So maybe we'll do that next time, or maybe as we get closer to the Matrix Resurrection or whatever it's going to be called.
When are they going to release a trailer? When do they usually do that? Is there?
I'm guessing fourth quarter, because the way they've been going with like Mortal Kombat comes out next month. They just put out trailers like a few weeks ago for it, so it looks like trailers are running about 2 months ahead. But Suicide Squad, though, I mean, that's coming out in like 3 or 4 months. So who the fuck knows? Basically, who knows when they're going to release a goddamn trailer?
I want to see a trailer so bad for this movie.
Right?
God, I can't fucking wait.
Is Trinity in it?
Yeah,
I'm fucking so pumped.
So is everybody the old cat? Is
Morpheus is Morpheus is
Morpheus? Yeah,
what I under as far as we know anyway. But I'm
hopefully
after watching these 3 movies, like I don't know, 6 more times in the past like 2 weeks, which I've already watched a ton. I remember I had a bootleg of Matrix Revolutions that I would watch over and over till it came out on Blu-ray. And we drove down to Columbus to go watch it in IMAX.
Yeah, that's one of the memories I remember, man. I was so excited. I think there was like a gunman too at the time. Like somebody was shooting people on the highway, and Sean and I were like, "Dude, if this guy clips us before we get to see this in IMAX, well, I'm not going to be pissed because I'll be dead, but that would suck."
You might not necessarily be dead, so you don't know. It was a guy and his son, is what it turned out to be. It was a guy who's like training his son how to use a sniper rifle, and they were shooting people on I-71.
And we're like, we're heading to see the Matrix.
So what do you think this is going to be about?
Dude, there's so many ways to go. I read like Gina Torres was salty because I think somebody asked her if she was going to be in it again. She's like, no. And then she's like, from what I can tell, everybody that's in it are people that died. And so she's like salty that, but I'm like, dude, this could be, the Matrix has infinite possibilities. First of all, I mean, this could be a prequel. This could be a sequel in that, I mean, these people could be constructs in the Matrix. Neo is basically a god, so he could live on many different ways. They could come back as AIs, like they could come back as training programs. You know what I mean? Like there's a million ways you could reuse these actors again without necessarily just having them be alive again. You know what I mean? Like they're in a computer simulation. Hello, like or it could be literally like the next iteration of the Matrix, or previous one, and it just so happens that these people look the same. They might not even be playing Neo and Trinity or whatever. There's so many possibilities, so many different things you could do.
That's why I'm so curious for this trailer. I want to see kind of which way they're going.
Looks different than she did.
Yeah, she didn't age as well as Keanu, but I mean, she still looks pretty good, man.
She looks great for her age, but I mean, it's been 30 years? Jesus,
yeah.
They've been 30 years. Like, come on now.
How long has it been? 20?
It's been just over 20 since the first movie, but I don't even care. None of that is of consequence to me. I mean, I'll just be happy to see these actors in these roles again if they're in the same roles. I love the franchise so much, and watching Reloaded or Revolutions, and I just sit there and watch them and try to figure out, like, why do people not like these movies? Like, I literally can't figure it out. I mean, there's stuff in it that I don't like. I mean, they're not perfect movies, but by no means would I just throw out the whole movie and be like, no good. Like,
who didn't like the movies?
There's a lot of people.
That's why they just died, like Game of Thrones style. Nobody talked about the Matrix anymore.
I didn't know people didn't like it.
I think once a week I put that scene in where Morpheus takes his katana sword out and slices the side of the fucking Cadillac.
Yeah.
And then as it's turning, he fucking shoots it with that automatic pistol and blows it up. Oh, God. And all that time they're playing the some fucking crazy ass music. It's fucking, I love that scene so much.
Yeah, dude, that whole chase scene where they're fighting on top of the truck, that actually inspired me. I watched Speed Racer again this week. That's another underrated fucking movie that got hated on. Speed Racer is a great fucking movie, man. It's the only movie where I've ever cared about car racing in my life because they're doing car foo. They're fucking fighting each other with cars. I'm like, okay, I'm in for this.
Hey, you know what it was too about? Family.
It actually was about family, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And dude, they had this.
It was the racer.
There's a
The
scene
racer family
where I started like tearing up, man, and it's when Speed sits down, like he's getting ready to leave, because he thinks his dad doesn't want him to go do this race or whatever, because he doesn't. But that's how his older brother left under those circumstances. His dad was like, if you go leave to do this, don't ever come back through that door. And like Speed goes to do basically the same thing. And he's like, if you're going to tell me I can't come back, then fine or whatever. And John Goodman's playing his dad, and he sits him down, and he's like, I'll never make that mistake again. No matter, you can always come through my door. And I'm just sitting there like, it's like,
dude, the whole last race.
Oh my God.
Is fucking intense, man.
Phenomenal too.
And it ends with his fucking tires melted and shit. Like, this is the fucking greatest thing I ever saw. And the colors. Yeah. Holy shit! I don't think I ever seen anything like that on a movie screen.
Yeah, it's so, man.
They need to get that in 4K. I'm starting a campaign to get Speed Racer in fucking 4K with a proper fucking lossless audio soundtrack. You need to show your kids, man. Sit Dom down to watch Speed Racer. He's ready.
Yeah, I tried. They got
a year ago.
Yeah, and they were loving it until the kid grew up.
Yeah, but he's a year older now. How old is Dom now?
Dom's 4.
Okay, maybe he's not ready yet.
She'll be 6.
What year did it come out?
I think Dom could sit through it.
What year did it come out?
Well, it had the misfortune of coming out in the summer of 2008, which was also when Iron Man, The Dark Knight, and The Incredible Hulk came out. So,
it was 2008?
Yeah, it kind of got buried, I think, by all the awesome movies.
And the financial collapse.
Aiden was 3 when he watched that. He loved it. So,
okay.
Dom should be fine. Dom's 5.
He did like it until Speed grew up, and then they started with the story.
And remember all the Speed Racer stuff we had?
Yeah. But there's enough in there in between the story. Like they'll throw in the kid and the monkey and stuff to kind of draw the kids back in.
Dude, if I had seen this at 4 or 5, I would have watched it every day, all day at that age. Like, sit him down, have him watch it. Just like I was a little kid watching Star Wars. That has way less fucking action in it than Speed Racer does.
Oh, hell yeah. Kids today, Star Wars wouldn't.
Right?
ADD, man.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know if his attention span, he's so overstimulated from
Does he make it through other movies or no?
Yeah, I mean, if we sit down, and watch something.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Sit him down and watch Speed Racer.
I lock the door, and then we all sit down.
I lock the door. I put the bar down.
Put their seatbelts on.
But,
I put him in his cage, and then we watch the movie.
Speed Racer does have some more adult, kind of conversations going on.
It's for kids.
It's totally for kids. It does. I mean, it does have a story. I don't know if that's what your issue is, but it does have a story. But I don't think it has any more of a story than a Pixar movie. Like I don't think there's anything going on there that isn't going on in The Incredibles.
I just think there's more thrown in to catch kids' attention in Pixar movies.
I think you need to watch this again, is what I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like this movie moves. It fucking moves.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna go home and watch it.
Do it, man. It's so fucking. Listeners,
I love that movie.
If you haven't watched Speed Racer, fucking watch it. How
did Speed Racer do in the theater?
Did it terrible. Well. It didn't even make its budget back, and that's like the last Wachowski movie that I actually wanted to watch. And then after that, it was like Cloud Atlas and fucking Jupiter's Anus or whatever the fuck. Yeah, and I just lost interest.
Jupiter Ascending.
And now they're getting back to the Matrix. Lana, no Lily, just Lana. But I'm curious to see what she cranks out for us. Keanu Reeves was saying he loved the script and everything, and obviously it being really secretive. There's no fucking photos from this movie that I can find.
That's why I'm wondering. Everybody says Lawrence Fishburne isn't in it. I'm wonder if they're just doing a Marvel thing where they're keeping everything under wraps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, he said, because I just read something, I don't know, it was like a year ago or something, maybe even longer, where he was like, no, I wasn't invited back or whatever. But who the fuck knows? Like, he's one of the people who survived. Why wouldn't he be in it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have Morpheus. Come on.
Well, Gina Torres was saying only dead people are in it. So
Right.
if that's true.
But again, Niobe's in it. We know Niobe's back. I forget who else. I don't know if the kid is in it. I watched the Animatrix again recently too. And that whole, I don't know if you guys remember the short where they introduced the kid. That short makes it so that I don't hate the kid as much in the Matrix. If you watch the Animatrix, like I said, I've been
From Reloaded.
Yeah,
The kid brings him the speed.
no. He's
The
a
kid.
different kid.
It says, "I believe Neo."
Yeah, he just like when they land, when they
Dark-haired kid, yeah.
The kid
When they come out of the ship,
and he's
Yeah.
all over him. He's
Oh,
like,
that's
"What can I
right.
do
Yeah,
for you? How's it doing, Neo? How you
that's
doing?"
right. He's like just annoying.
Yeah,
Follows him around. Yeah.
yeah,
he's like a skateboarder or something,
Right.
Animatrix, right? And he
he
falls
frees himself from the Matrix. Something he like manages to like. It's pretty cool. And
yeah,
that's
but
why,
he keeps thinking Neo did it, but he's like,
Right.
"Dude, I didn't save you, kid. You saved yourself."
right, and it explains how the kid did it. That's one thing I love about the Matrix period is the fact that like the Wachowskis cared so much about it. They oversaw everything. I've been playing the Matrix Path of Neo game on my PS2 for God's sake, which they wrote and directed. They wrote and directed the Enter the Matrix game. I know you played that one.
Yeah,
And I love that they're so involved and they care. Same with the comics. They make sure all these stories tie in and make sense. They're not just licensing it and letting people go hog wild with it. And some of the stories are better than
I
others.
remember
They're not all gold, but what's that?
right. But I remember playing the game, and I'm like, I can't wait to get to the cutscene.
Go.
Yes, that's all I cared about was the cutscenes. That game was not good. It was not great.
I was like, I need more story.
So in the Path of Neo game, and I haven't got this point yet, but when you finish the game, obviously in the Matrix Revolutions, we know what happens. Neo, it's the whole everything that has a beginning has an end. So the darkness meets the light, and Smith dies or whatever. And but they didn't want to do in the video game. They literally they go to a cutscene where the Wachowskis are just sitting there, and they're like, "Hey, we couldn't really, that wouldn't be a fun battle in the game. So instead you fight like this giant kaiju made out of all the Smiths or something." So they're like, we thought this would be more fun. It is a video game.
Kaiju. I know that word.
Yeah, I said that just for you, since you know what it is now. But yeah, so I love how hands-on they are with they really care about the property. They're not just kind of shitting it out. They really, so I'm really curious what Matrix 4 is going to be. There's a part of me that's terrified it's going to be crap. Just because I don't think the Wachowskis' output has been all that great since Speed Racer. But I'm still hopeful because I love that universe. When I sit down and watch those movies, I'm just all in 100% and very confused.
It's like you said, how much they care for it. I'm guessing it'll be what we want to see.
I watched some video. I Googled why do people hate the Matrix sequels, and it's literally people are like, it's all the talking, and I'm like, I fucking hate you. Those conversations are fucking amazing. I love the way Reloaded ends with him talking to the architect, and that's not even the ending. I mean, there's still action there. The action, it's crazy to me that the action is so good and so insane. And yet people are still like, well, they were talking about philosophy and stuff.
I remember the architect scene was a big one. People always ragged on that. I was like, can you just I didn't understand half the words either, but I was trying to,
I understood the words just fine. That was, but I think they were just bored that it was a conversation and they didn't they kind of felt that it was condescending or something. But I was like, I was all in. I was studying that scene. I was like, this is awesome. They're explaining the different iterations of the Matrix. The fact that there's always an anomaly like Neo. He's not so special. He calls him the remainder, basically, of an equation. It's just it's so fucking cool, man. That whole conversation, just learning all that. And I don't know if people had a problem with because it's like an exposition dump, but there's definitely stakes in that scene. He tells him, he's like, you go through here, you will save Zion, you will take by taking 9 people with you or whatever. And you'll reboot the Matrix. If you go through here, you can save Trinity and destroy Zion. And he's like, he's the only one who goes that way. He's like, everybody's been here, and he's like the only one who's selfish enough to be like, Trinity, get my girlfriend. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And like, that's awesome. Like, that's fucking awesome. And it's just
And
all
then
that
he
stuff about
leaves.
choice.
Yeah, and then he immediately leaves, opens that door, and fucking hightails it to save Trinity. Like, he's moving so fast, he's pulling everything in around him. He's creating his own gravitational field. That's how fast he's flying. Right. And then he fucking saves her, dude, and starts her heart again. It's
Right.
like, what the fuck?
How is that
And
not
people
satisfying?
all right, people are like, I didn't like it.
Boring.
Like, okay.
Bored. It's like, I didn't see The Rock drive a tank through the National History Museum, so it's fucking boring. Like, I don't know what people want. I don't know what's in the Fast and Furious, but I'm pretty sure every time I make a description of it, it's 100% accurate, no matter what I say. It involves The Rock and Jason Statham having superhuman powers for no discernible reason, making vehicles do things that aren't fucking physically possible.
Well, you should just sit down and watch one.
Nah. I did that. I watched Aquaman, and that I turned out worse than I thought it would.
No. The first Fast and Furious is way better than Aquaman.
It'll probably be boring, though.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, was it?
No, the first one. The first one was decent.
The first one?
It's about racing, though, and I can't think of anything. Racing is
better.
More boring than watching baseball. Like, racing is like, I don't care.
Would you rather watch Racing or Waterboy? Not Waterboy as in Aquaman, not the Adam Sandler movie.
I'd rather shoot myself in the face. I don't want to do either of those things.
I'm saying you'll like Fast and Furious, the first one better.
Have you seen Pacific Rim?
Yeah, that was good.
So when they referenced kaiju, did you know what they were talking about? Because they say it a lot in that movie.
They say it a lot in Pacific Rim. Yeah, that's.
I don't remember. I mean, I remember watching Pacific Rim, but I don't remember. You know, I know the guys in Mexico.
Rob is right, though. They make reference to kaiju in that movie a lot.
Yeah, I just heard somebody talking about yesterday, and that's the first time I knew what it was.
Huh.
I probably got it from context, but in the movie.
Steve's he's been going for 10 years and didn't say a word about that word.
Didn't say shit.
He's like, he totally missed the whole point of the movie.
He thought they were doing like a sneezing sound. He's like, achoo. Like,
kaiju.
Right.
I just figured it was a Japanese word. I don't fucking.
Well, it is.
Yeah. That's right.
It. Well, yeah. So
that's funny. I was just thinking about that. I was like, you know, I could see why he did, but then I was like, wait a minute. We watched Pacific Rim on his birthday.
Yeah.
On his 40th birthday. I was like,
that's
so
right.
I know you saw it. So
right.
I was like, huh.
No. I mean, I'm sure I heard the name, and I knew. I just now everybody's saying it, so
that is true.
Like nobody said kaiju after I saw Pacific Rim.
That is true.
Well, now all of a sudden,
evidently nobody watched Pacific Rim, even though it's a good movie.
It's all the raves. So I learned something.
All right. Oh, I got to show something. This is for our YouTube viewers. It's my latest acquisition. It is an 18-inch comic book Hellboy. Look at this. Isn't that great? Isn't that just lovely?
Dude, where are you putting all this shit, man?
It's just about. I got this. This literally arrived today. I have no idea where I'm going to put this thing.
Have you told the kids they have to move out because of Daddy's toys yet?
And we're getting there. I think I just have to buy a new house. Not willing to kick my children out for my stuff.
I can't wait.
I got this.
To see all your stuff.
I think Rob will appreciate this just because of the packaging. I don't know if you can see that.
What is that? Figure. Mandalorian.
Old school packaging.
Oh, the old Star Wars figures.
You get the glare off of there. But
Kenner.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, and Maggie posted that picture of her baby Yoda. That thing is awesome. Grogu.
Yeah. A full life-size replica of Grogu that I purchased for her birthday.
Damn, that thing was awesome.
And she fucking loves it. Like, she fucking loves it.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's cute. It's gorgeous. And it was just really cool to me. That's like the first collectible, like expensive ass collectible. She was like, okay. And I told her I was going to buy it for her. So like, I always make like these empty threats when she shows a mild interest in something. And I'll be like, oh, I'm going to get you this now. I'm going to buy you this. And related to that, she's like, no, I don't want your stupid toys. stop. I'm not into it. I was just asking a question or whatever. But when I told her that, she was just like, no, don't give me that. And I was like, I know that. I know what that means. That means,
I know what that means.
Yeah. That's the no I do. It's like, no, I'm not hungry. And, okay, you're fucking hungry. I know exactly what you're saying. So I ordered that. I told her about it. I only told her, but she was going through the bank account and she's like, what is this charge? To Sideshow Collectibles. And I was like, oh, I ordered that Grogu for you. She's like, no. And she's like, when's it going to be here? And then like a few days later, she texted me that fucking still from Mandalorian of that guy of what's that guy's name? Werner Herzog, his character, the guy who has the original bounty on Grogu, and where he's like, I think it's from like season 1, episode 8 or 7 or so. I think it's episode 7, right before he dies, and he's like, I would like to see the baby. And she sent me that still. She's like, this is me waiting for Grogu. And I was like, I was dying. It's just so perfect. I would like to see the baby.
Yeah, that thing's detailed as fuck, man. He's even got the little gear shift he's holding in one hand.
That's magnetic, too. It comes out. It's just a magnet.
Oh, no shit.
There. Yeah. And then he's got hair. He's got like actual hair on his head. Just like, and the eyes are what gets you with that thing. The detail in the fucking eyes. Is actually like an eyeball. It's like a lens up front. Like the color is set way back, and I'll have to bring it.
You know that shit's going to be double in price in like 3 months.
So, well, it's they're mass producing it. I don't know if they're mass producing it, but it's not anything that's selling out quite yet. I wanted to get one before they did, but I feel like that's something they're going to there'll be a version 2 of it. Like this one's not posable at all, which is frustrating. It's in a terrible pose. It's a gorgeous, super detailed thing. But both his arms are down, like he doesn't do the baby hand, magic hand thing. He's always looking up. You can turn his head, but you can't make it go up and down. So he's just always looking upwards. It's just kind of annoying, and I feel like I've seen like mod videos like that Adam Savage from what's that TV show Mythbusters. He's a huge Star Wars nerd, just a nerd in general, and he did a whole video where he modded it and like he was just sawing parts of it off and put this stuff in to make it posable. Put the thing back on. He weathered the jacket some more to make it look a little bit dirtier. I'm not doing. I don't have the tools to do that. I don't have the knowledge. I'm not going to take a fucking miter saw to my toy.
You told Maggie when they do come out with these other versions, you're going to get those too.
Dude, if they come out with a posable one, like, well, this one we can just put over here, and this one we can go over here now. So. But,
yeah, that's what I do now. I buy them for Kristen. I don't buy them for myself.
well, dude, I got my Hot Toys Mandalorian paid off, but it's not out yet. It's just like prepaid off. I got an 18-inch Hot Toys Mandalorian that I'm starting payments on. It's a little nuts over here with the Mandalorian shit. And again, I have nowhere to put this stuff. I've
got a bunch of stuff coming soon.
I got a T-shirt.
You got a T-shirt?
T-shirt.
Nice.
I got a few shirts.
I got it on.
I got the Dark Saber. When's that come out? August?
Yeah, I got that pre-ordered. I got the helmet pre-ordered. I got the Nerf gun. Yeah, lots more. Lots more to come. And then who knows what's going to happen when Boba Fett comes out.
Right? The Book of Boba Fett's not even out yet. I can't wait to see your new house when you actually put all this shit up. This is going to be awesome.
It's all just like a clusterfuck on my desk right now.
Just open up a museum. Just rent a space, open a museum, write it off.
Right?
Yeah,
show people your toys.
You could charge people to come in.
I'm going to make that Captain America museum. That's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to get the props. Get it. Like buy all that shit, like open it up to the public.
I'm going to the Smithsonian. I'm hoping to see that exhibit.
The Smithsonian is not open, my friend.
I know it's not. We're actually going to go next month.
I know. I got invited. Not from you.
The end of this month.
I got an invite, not from you, but I got an invite.
No, from Becca.
Yeah.
From Becca. Yeah, I told her she was inviting everybody.
Yeah,
I got one too.
She told me to invite Steve. I said, no, you do it.
I tried to convince her then, like after Maggie was like, nothing's open in Washington. So she's trying to figure out somewhere else to go. And I was like, dude, Cleveland has the best pizza. So just, I mean,
Sean is all continually not wanting to go anywhere.
I don't want to go anywhere ever. And people are so just befuddled by the fact that I'm just content to be here. Like I've been places, I've been other places. This is where I like being the most. Yeah, she said she didn't believe that. She said that was the second time that day she had heard that that Ohio has the best pizza. She said that Rob had mentioned Fiesta. I was like, that's right, Fiesta's the best pizza in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we got great burgers up here too. She's like, I guess Keith could go see a baseball game. I'm like, dude, they're playing the Yankees all weekend that weekend. They're in town, like they're home games.
Do we have a hockey team?
Huh?
Do we have a hockey team?
Not a NHL one, but
it's a minor league. You got Columbus.
Is hockey going on that time?
Columbus. It's only an hour away.
Keith he'd love to see that.
I have no idea I don't know what the hockey seasons are, but yeah,
I'll be up
baseball.
Saturday.
And then I was like, the Rock Hall is open. The
Football Hall of Fame
is open. I went and checked that out. That was the last time Keith was up here. I remember that's where he wanted to go. That's where he went. I think they were up here to see Joe Montana get inducted or something like that. I don't remember.
And there's always, don't forget the Amish country. That's a big draw.
I did forget that, oddly enough.
Cedar Point. Keith wants to go to Cedar Point.
Oh, Cedar Point's the best.
Oh, I don't even know. Are they open? I don't know when they open.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather churn butter in Amish country?
Dude, I tried to watch that movie Witness for the first time. Now that you bring it up, you know what I'm talking about? With
is that the one with Harrison Ford? Yeah.
So
I never saw it.
I don't. All right, let me tell you, Rob. Have you seen Witness?
Long, like 30 years ago.
Okay. So in my mind, like you remember, like Steve. I don't know if you were there, Rob, but I know Steve and I when the first time we watched a Harrison Ford movie called Presumed Innocent, we watched it together. It was well after. It was probably like 15, 20 years old by the time we watched it, and we were both like, "Wow, that was a really good fucking movie." So in my mind, I thought Witness was kind of along the same lines. I thought it was kind of like a murder mystery action movie. It's just a straight up fucking romance, bro, and it's terrible. Like, there's like a whole barn raising scene with all this fucking music, and I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? And I just turned it off. I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. This is fucking horrible.
I remember I went to watch it because at the time I would always go to the DVD store and the used DVD store and buy movies all the time. Yeah. And Witness always had like 47 copies, available. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not going to watch this.
That's a good sign that maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Speaking of video, did you? There's a documentary on the last Blockbuster in Oregon.
Oh, I watched that.
Oh,
yeah.
I watched that. Yeah, I watched that too.
That's good. Yeah. I love the lady that runs it. I don't know who she is, but she seems like I want her. I want to move there just so I can go in and run.
Oh my god! When they were shooting from inside that thing, I was like, "Oh my god! I can fucking smell this place. I'm in there. Like I'm instantly transported into that Blockbuster. It's fucking Friday night.
Oh. They closed video time, Dad told me.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
they closed,
shit.
Wait, you mean Family Video?
Family Video, yeah. They closed. My dad said they closed it.
Oh, shit.
They finally closed it.
That's why I said, where's the Voodoo account, man? I knew that was coming. I don't know if he's using it, but I told him, I was like,
no, that's why I asked him. I was like, have you watched any movies or rented anything? He said, no, I still got plenty to watch. I said, have you been renting them? He said, no, they finally closed. I was like, oh, man.
That's
how sad.
That's just, dude, yeah, like when I was watching that documentary, I was like, oh, man, it is so sad to see that go.
I am so glad they got their license renewed because if that would have been a thing, I would have boycotted Dish Network. I was like, what's the purpose? I mean, I know they hold the rights to it, but I mean, just
I can't believe they won't just give her the name. Like, she's the last holdout. If anybody deserves it, she does at this point.
Right.
Like, just give her the
she doesn't even own it.
No.
She doesn't even own it. She just runs it. It's crazy.
And like you said, I want to frequent her store. I would love to go. If I ever go out that way, I will go there. I will make a point to go to that video store.
I got a question. Okay, because I watched the John Oliver. I've seen like every one. And I saw that one was like 3 years ago when he did with the jockstrap.
Oh, where he
bought all
donates the gladiator stuff.
Okay, so who got the gladiator jockstrap? That's what I want to know, because they didn't send it to that store.
Right.
They never said what happened to it. They just said everything but the jockstrap. And then I was like, well, where's the jockstrap?
Well, the other guy from the Alaska
store. Yeah, the owner kept
He kept that. He kept that shit. He likes to wear it around the house. He got he got a little extender for it so it could fit around his waist, and he likes to walk.
He likes to walk through wheat fields, touching it with his fingers, the top of the wheat.
His wife likes to role play with him. He gets to be Russell Crowe.
Maximus.
Yeah, he gets to be Maximus Aurelius.
Aurelius.
But yeah, those were so fun. Those nights where we would just go, or days even, we would go all the time to Blockbuster. But yeah, Friday night especially.
Me and you, we were always up in that bitch.
some of like my most prominent memories are like, I remember going to the one on Howe Avenue. It was before they had the one closer to your parents' house, and basically forcing Steve to rent Clerks, like trying to, because you'd always argue over, like, you'd always pick like 2 movies or whatever, and I was like,
I'm not watching black and white. I'm not watching this black and white.
And I'm like, dude, I was like, dude, it got an R rating. It almost got an X rating for language. We have to see this movie, right? Like that's. I remember seeing it. I had seen it on TV. On when it was at the festivals or whatever, and when it finally came to home video, I was like, we got to watch this. And then you, of course, laughed your fucking ass. As always, Sean was right, always trying to advise Steve, and
you're right about that.
I was right about a lot of stuff.
You're right about that.
And then like Bottle Rocket, I remember that was just something I happened upon. Like I hadn't heard of it. I just saw the box. It was like, I remember it was like underneath, like, they would do like these weird middle sections. Like if you like this, you might like this. Like when you were on the new release wall. And so they would have like all these Tarantino movies or something. And then like in the middle is like, oh, if you like this. And then they'd have like 6 random movies that were of the crime genre. And like Bottle Rocket was there. And just something stood out about it to me. I remember reading the back, and they call it like Reservoir Dogs for Nerds. I'm like, I think I like that. And then like after like 2 or 3 times, I'm like, all right, I'm going to rent that movie. And then, Wes Anderson obviously blew the fuck up years later after Rush.
To this day, I still say, caw.
And most people think it's from like Galaxy Quest. It's like, dude, no. This originated, it's the first line in fucking Bottle Rocket from like
the Galaxy Quest. It's from
Evolution.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is that the same director? Why did I confuse those? Anyway.
Yeah,
but yeah,
like you're saying, though, Wes Anderson
they're both good flicks.
He blew the fuck up after that.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious when they were talking about the employee picks, and you always like, I always watch what Susan watches.
Right. Right.
There's always there's always that one employee that watches all the goddamn fucking foreign films. And,
right.
And then you got the one guy that he's more on your speed,
Right. We got the one guy that just watches crap. Like he just watches then you got the artsy person.
It's a French film with subtitles.
Right. And then you got your Susan who she's like, yeah, here's Bottle Rocket, Clerks. It's like, all right. What is Susan like? I'm in for that.
I remember, Susan, what do you pick?
Dude, right. We were always eyeing that fucking Dropbox while we were in there. You're like, come on, man.
Yeah, remember you used to wait? Yeah, it'd be like, well, all the copies are out.
It would be fucking.
I'll just stand here. Hey, did you get a copy yet? Did you get a copy yet?
Like, I just saw
as we're checking out. Yeah, as we're checking out, we still be like, hey, does anything else new come in? Because we really want to see fucking whatever.
That's right. And they'd have that, they'd take them and they'd make like that big stack. Where they had to go through and check them in, make sure there was the right tape, make sure it was rewound, and then you're always just like looking at the side of the fucking thing. Is this it? Is this the movie? Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? Damn it! Oh.
Be kind, rewind.
Speaking of rewind, I remember we had a rewinder.
It
was just a rewinder because people were blowing out their VCRs rewinding.
No, because it took forever.
Oh, so that was faster?
Oh my God, you could watch the movie. It was like watching the movie backwards. That's how long it takes to rewind.
I remember we had that separate rewinder.
It was like a speed rewinder.
Yeah. We set it up next to it.
I did read that it was the same wear and tear, though. I think that was the idea back then. That's what they sold them on, though. And they were faster. But
that's not what Dan put it.
Yeah, well, they were like wave, like you put that thing in, it was like, wah! like it was loud, like a jet engine when it would rewind shit. You're like, holy shit!
Oh man, I didn't realize how much video stores would pay for those movies before the franchises made it cheaper. I
didn't know that either.
I did.
I was like, man,
I knew full
no
well
wonder.
No
wonder they didn't have many movies.
I would try to buy movies that hadn't been released domestically. I don't know how to put it, like commercially. I don't know what the word would be, but basically you couldn't find it on your shelf at Walmart at the time, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't have a $20 consumer version of it. They only had like the professional version, and so, I've loved Evil Dead for like a long time, right? And that movie was like out of print forever. And it was the mid-90s. And I found a Blockbuster that fucking had a copy, right? Of Evil Dead. Couldn't find it anywhere else. Again, pre, like internet and stuff. So I rented it. I took it home. I watched it. It was in decent shape. There was one point in the movie where it like went just like to that fucking that snow screen for like 3 seconds.
And then came back on.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, so I remember I took it back. I go to the clerk, and I'm just holding on to it. He's like, you want to turn this in? I was like, I have a question. Let's say I didn't return this movie. How much would that cost me? And he like looks it up, and I think I was like, what would happen if I lost this movie? And he looks it up, and he's like, it's like $87 or something. And I'm like, fuck. I was like, if it had been like a clean copy and not had been watched 1,000 times, I probably would have fucking been like, all right, I'm gonna forget to return this one here and just eat it. But yeah, there were some movies that wouldn't have like a $20 consumer counterpart. It was more common in the 80s. But even in the 90s, sometimes like they would like postpone like the consumer release for like 6 months, and only video stores would have it. And if you wanted to buy it, you had to pay $100 to $200 for it. It was stupid.
Yeah, I did. I had no idea about that. That was eye opening.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not end up doing that though. I just was like, here you go, slid it across the counter. I was like, this is because I was like, it's my fucking VCR is going to eat this at some point. I'm going to be upset that I spent $87 on this fucking thing. So,
dude, I mean, I remember before they would like give you 3 nights to watch them. We'd still get like 3 movies and like jam them all in one night. Yeah, they had to be back the next day before 5 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. We stay up all night watching movies, and Dad was always buying the fucking instant popcorn and some candy when we checked out. It's like, Dad, you can get this at the grocery store. It's a lot cheaper.
Dad is fucking shit when it comes to that instant gratification. Like he likes a movie experience, and as a kid, I thought that was fantastic. Like, he wanted the whole 9 yards. Let's get some popcorn.
Yeah. Well, he loved movies just as much as us, though.
Right. I'm gonna have to retrain him on the Vudu app. All right, we got to wrap this up. We've been talking for 6 hours.
All right, let's cut it.
All right. So next week, Lobo.
Peace. Thanks for listening.